Welcome back to another DDT After Hours. Today I have a really fun story for you. Scuba Steve and the Fisherman's Mafia. I'm going to tell you about Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve was a military guy here in Japan, and he was very outdoorsy, active, kind of a big guy, strong. The really unusual thing about Scuba Steve for me is, so usually, well, he loved scuba, and usually, like as a person, if I'm in a group of people, I'm used to being a little bit the wild one that other people have to control, right? I'm kind of pushing the edge. But what happened with Scuba Steve, whenever I hung out with Scuba Steve, I had to be the fun-killing voice of reason. When I was with him, I had to be the safe one because I always found he was pushing the boundaries of safety and what I thought was okay. So that was a very interesting dynamic. But Scuba Steve liked to dive, and we dove a lot. But again, there was always this element of something going on. For example, one time at this dive site, Izu Ocean Park, beautiful place, Izu IOP, fantastic dive location. They have this one area where I call it the far wall. You hit this wall, and then you go down, and it just keeps going. I've been, at 40 meters there, you're just looking down a long, dark drop, gradual. And so Scuba Steve and I, we had a plan, right, a dive plan. We were gonna hit that wall. We were gonna take it down to 40 meters. We had 14-liter steel tanks, and we had a turn pressure. We were gonna turn at half a tank, 100 bar. And we had other contingencies in place. We had a time set that we were going to turn at. We had, like I said, an air pressure. And so Steve had his camera, Scuba Steve, and I was just there for the ride. Now, we knew, right, that at 40 meters, we're going to be narcotic, right? We're going to be experiencing some narcosis, and we pre-talked about that. And, so we're going to be, also, we knew that building up CO2 would accentuate the narcotic effect, so we were going to remain calm, take the dive nice and slow, no drama, no fast swimming. So that was the plan. We get out there to the wall. We're moving down 38 meters, 39 meters, 40 meters, and right there at the 39 meter mark, I found this, a shark, a dochizame, it's called here. I think banded hound shark. They're basically a nurse shark derivative. And this nurse shark, well, it was big. It was like as big as me. It was a 5.5 footer, and it was stuffed under some rocks. So like half of the shark was his back half, his tail was sticking out of the rocks. And so Steve is at the wall taking pictures. So I signal Steve with my light, and I point and I say, "Dude, check out this shark, man. Pretty cool, huh?" So he goes over and he's taking pictures. And so I leave Steve to taking the pictures, and I look back at the wall, I have my light, I'm checking some stuff out. And then I get this like spidey sense of, something not right. And I turn around and I'm looking at Scuba Steve, and I can't see Scuba Steve. All I could see is like this tornado of sand from the bottom, and I see like an arm coming out, and I see a shark tail coming out, and then I see Steve's fin over here, and then I see a shark fin coming around like this. It's like this tornado of Scuba Steve, sand, and a shark. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the bleep, man? How did you get in a fight with a shark? So anyway, later on, we got to our limits, we called a dive, and we got out of there. Later on, he's telling me, I was like, "Scuba Steve, what the hell, man?" And he was like,
"Well, I really want to get a good shot of that shark, so I pulled it out from under the rocks, and it just went apeshit."
And I was like, "No kidding, man, that's what they tend to do." So this gives you some idea of the Scuba Steve. But he was the only one who would dive with me. I know what you're going to say. A lot of you should say, you should never dive with someone like that. You're probably right. What is the Fisherman's Mafia? The basic rules of diving in Japan, probably not too different from anywhere else in the world. I'm told, because I can't read Japanese, so I'm told that the strict laws, you're not allowed to dive anywhere like under maybe 3 or 4 conditions. So an active boating lane, an active port, an active fishery where they're actually growing or cultivating fish or abalone or something like that. There might have been one more condition. I forget. But if it isn't one of those things, then technically you should be able to dive there. But the reality in the Tokyo, Yokohama area is that's not the reality, right? The practical reality is that the fishermen control the waterways. They have political clout, they have connections, they have history, whatever it is. Other parts of Japan, it's not like that. Okinawa, it's not like that. Tohoku, I'm told, it's not like that. But here, it is what it is. Anywhere where official dive sites are, they have to have permission and cooperation and compensation to the fishermen's Mafia. This is why the name has been coined, Fisherman's Mafia. And so we decided, because diving in Japan is very controlled and kind of expensive, there are only like these set dive sites, and there's ocean everywhere. We're thinking, hey, let's just, go out and dive. Just find some place, take up the car, tanks, and dive. And so we tried that. So we were down in the IOP area, down in that part of the Izu Peninsula. We were driving around and we were looking for a place to pull over. We found this spot. I was like, wow, this looks interesting. So we pull up. What we find this beautiful rocky shore, and it looks really interesting. So we say, yeah, we can enter here. And the first thing Scuba Steve does, Scuba Steve looks out, and there's an island out there, like a smallish rocky island, probably like the size of 2 football fields or something like that. And Scuba Steve says, hey, but by the way, we're in dry suits, so not so mobile. Scuba Steve looks out there and he says,
Hey, Jim, tell you what, I got an idea. Let's surface swim on out to that little old island out there and dive from there. Easy peasy.
I look at it, and again, here I am. I have my I have to be the voice of reason. I said, Scuba Steve, how far do you think that island is? And he's like,
Oh, that can't be more than 200 meters at the farthest.
and I said, Scuba Steve, that's at least half a kilometer. That's 500 yards minimum. And between there's a channel. Who knows what the current is doing, or after we're done what the current's doing. I said, dude, I just want to, I'm in my dry suit, right? Can't really kick so hard. I don't want to end up in Indonesia. Let's just dive from shore. Luckily, I convinced Scuba Steve, yeah, we dove from the shore. We enter in. Turns out to be a very interesting area. Not so deep, probably like 18 meters max where we were. A lot of kelp, a lot of golf balls in the ground, lots of fish. It's pretty nice. We start coming back. And as we're coming back, we're hearing boats every once in a while. And I start hearing a boat, like a boat. And then I see a shadow. And I look up. And there's this boat weaving over top of us as we're coming up. And so I don't know, we're probably at 10 meters by then, it's coming up gradually. And then by the time I'm like at 6 meters, like this boat is getting really annoying. And I look up. Coming down from the boat, there's a spear, a very simple spear. It was made of bamboo, sharpened bamboo. Spear trying to spear me as I'm coming up, gradually coming up. And, I don't know the kind of person I seem like here. I mean, I like to think I'm a friendly person in general, but man, when someone gets on the deadly weapon attack mode, I just converted into underwater. I converted into beast mode, man. It just went, and all I wanted to do was get a hold of that fisherman and give him a scuba lesson. So I was trying to grab this. I was trying to grab this pole without getting stabbed, and I gave up on that really quickly. And we took it into the shore, and we both got out, and we're really angry. This guy's hollering us. He's like, he's yelling, he's cursing and stuff, and of course his native language, Japanese. And single guy on this boat, one guy. I let off this tirade of cursing to him, fully knowing that he didn't understand any of it, so it was pretty much pointless, but it made me feel good. And we looked at each other, and yeah. And he was satisfied and drove off. From that moment on, I came to the conclusion I can never try to explore like free dive sites ever again, because I will be arrested and booted out of this country, because You know, thankfully, I didn't get a hold of that guy. He would have had his free scuba diving lesson, and I never would be on this video. I would not be in the country. I might not even have my physical freedom. That was a lesson. Don't don't mess with the Fisherman's Mafia. It's not a happy thing. It's not a right thing. But as they say, it is what it is. So from then on, I just dove the free, sort of the pay sites in Japan happily to avoid that drama. But after that one, I needed a good stiff drink, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay, hope to see you again for another story of what happens to the instructors and dive masters, what turns us gray, what takes off the years of our life. Safe diving, see you at the next surface interval.